And again, I'd like to welcome everyone to our advanced tech training today for all about math. Thank you all so much for coming on, and I'm really looking forward to this presentation. I'm going to go ahead and read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information and any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me, hear me, or see the screen, please let me know in the chat, and I would appreciate that. And let's just make sure our TVs and cell phones are silenced so that we're all able to hear and understand each other and give others, and again, most importantly, ourselves, the most immersive experience, especially during our interactive portion. To keep our meetings organized and have some kind of etiquette, I ask that you use the raise hand feature in Zoom. If you ever have a question, comment, a concern, a reaction, etc., I would like for you to raise your hand in Zoom. And you have the opportunity to ask those questions or comments during or at the end of the session. So I know this image on the screen is what Zoom has typically looked like in the past. But actually yesterday I finally got an update to my Zoom where now, like some of you have experienced, the bar is at the bottom. So if your bar is still at the top, okay, you can and just make sure your Zoom app is updated, okay? But you can hit more at the top right, and then you can hit raise hand, okay? So I want everyone in Zoom to raise their hand. If your Zoom looks like this with the bar at the bottom, if you would like to raise your hand, you have to hit reactions here at the bottom and then hit raise hand. Okay, so I literally just got this update yesterday, so it's pretty similar to before, but there are some slight changes. So I'll be covering more of this during our afternoon session today. But same idea, you either tap more at the top right and then hit raise hand, or at the bottom you can hit reactions and then you can hit raise hand. Okay, so again, being the creme de la creme of the program, I want to see a lot of hands up. So we have about 26 folks on. Thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully others will be able to see this as well. We have 14 hands up. Thank you so much. 15. Thank you, Ms. Gracie. Number 15, appreciate that. So again, tap more at the top right and then raise hand, or if your bar is at the bottom, you have to hit reactions, okay? So again, if you like math, you want to learn more about math, etc., I want you to raise your hand, okay? Thank you so much. You all can lower your hands by hitting lower at the bottom. So either way, how you raised it, you can hit lower at the bottom, okay? So your hand is raised and it says lower. You just tap on that button to lower your hand, okay? Thank you. We still have 3 hands up. So again, just make sure it says your hand is raised, and then it says lower. I just got a direct message. So we covered how to update apps in another session. I'll be sure to mention it as well during our afternoon session. But we have a whole downloading apps, updating apps session on our YouTube channel. So again, please make sure to lower your hand in Zoom so that way everyone can be acknowledged, okay? And then if you want to communicate non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, like a hello, happy Friday, hope you have a great weekend. This is the last full week of April. Next Wednesday is May 1st. So just can't believe it, right? You can ask your question in the chat. You can send your congratulations or encouragement. Anything you'd like in the chat, okay? You do that by tapping, again, with the old Zoom or previous Zoom, I should say, you tap more at the top right and then you hit chat. And then this meeting chat will come up. But with the latest update, it's actually easier because at the bottom, it just says chat. So that's all you have to do in order to open the chat. And it did open differently. You see, it's not in the middle anymore. I can expand it. You see that white line in the middle next to the chat? I can expand it though if I need to, but it's there. So kind of a little different. So either way, at the bottom it says tap here to chat. So you're going to tap on that area, and then you're going to send your message. So I'm going to write a hello. Today is Arbor Day, so I'm going to find a lot of trees. Here you go, some trees. I put a cactus in there just because. So that's how you send a message in Zoom, in the chat. So I want, again, everyone in Zoom to please share a chat in Zoom, so that way you could, practice your typing and you just sharing your hellos. And, it's just good practice, right? You can even send a photo, as Miss Wilda has done. Thank you so much. You can send a photo in Zoom by hitting the plus sign next to tap here to chat, okay? When I hit the plus sign, it says photo, and then I can choose a photo from my Photos app to share. So this screenshot was from the game that we played last Friday for our apps for cooking session. So you can send, again, any photo in Zoom that you like as well. Just make sure, again, to note, you notice it says above tap here to chat, it says send to everyone. So make sure when you all are sending a message, if you need to send it to everyone, make sure it says everyone, okay? Sometimes I get direct messages that I think were meant for everyone, so just keep that in mind. But thank you, happy Friday. Yes, I love that picture that Miss Rosemary shared, Geraldine. I love it. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day and weekend. I love your emojis, Miss Mary. They look so cool. Happy Friday. Yeah, great weekend. And again, with any picture in the chat, if you want to save it to your Photos app, you can hold the image and then look, it says save image, right? So you can save that image. So I'll have those hearts in my Photos app. Good morning. Have a great day and yeah, stay safe. Uh, have a great day and a blessed one, and remember to be kind to someone today. Oh, well, thank you so much for that, Mr. Thomas. And good morning. Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you all for participating in the chat. I would love if you could share in the chat, because again, this is the end of the week. I know we still have our lunch club and module today, but what were your favorite sessions this week and why? Again, we have about 15 sessions a week, where everything from advanced trainings to our talk show to our lunch clubs to our Tuesday and Thursday guests to our modules. Had a lot of great sessions this week. I particularly enjoyed our guests. Tuesday, Thursday, we've never had a guest on the same week before, so it was just really nice to see some familiar faces throughout the week and just to get some great information. I really enjoyed our session on Monday as well for advanced training. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I really look forward. Well, I look forward to our trip as always. But we had a lot of great sessions this week. So if you could share what were your favorites in the chat, we would really appreciate that. So today we'll be covering all about math. So some fun facts and videos, just some information that I think you'll be very surprising and educational. We'll be covering 3 apps as usual. Math Wiki, Learn Maths, so a math learning app. 1st through 12th grade math problems. I know it says that, but everybody can, utilize that app. And then Duolingo. We covered that before talking about languages, but with the newest updates with Duolingo, now they have math as well. So we'll be covering each of these apps, navigating them, and hopefully, you all are able to download and take advantage of these apps. And last but certainly not least, as we always do, we have our overview and discussion where we talk about how can math have a positive impact on our daily lives. So again, thank you all so much for coming on, and I hope you all learned something new today. So 1, all about math. So some history and some fun facts and videos. So did you know that April is Mathematics Awareness Month? So I have this video from a school in Washington, and those are some of the things that I learned in school in middle school. So it was just nice to see and just kind of think, and have some nostalgia of, what happened before, and how even what I learned, back then in middle school, I still utilize in my daily life today. So just wanted to showcase this. And I hope you all enjoy.
April is National Math Month.
And it's just a month for us to nationally, I guess, focus on math. I focus on it every day, so it's a month for us to just maybe kind of think a little more deeply about how we really truly use it in our lives and what areas we use it in our lives and why it's important. My name is Kristen Nielsen, and I'm a math teacher at Mill Creek Middle School. I've taught in Kent for, this is my 16th year.
I like Miss Nielsen because what makes her a great teacher is she helps you in every way that she can. So the project that we're doing today are about real world problems.
Today in class, what the kids are doing is they're working on solving in groups real life inequality story problems. So they are reading a little description, deciding what the constant is, the variable, the coefficient, and the total. And then one of the hardest parts about inequality is just deciding which sign to use. That causes a lot of good discussion. So this has not been easy. They've put in a lot of work to get here, and so it's super fun to watch them talk it out.
I like the project in class because I get to know my peers more. I like math because it teaches me life skills in the future.
I really like math because it helps me with life skills like learning money.
Parents can help kids with math homework more by sitting down and helping them with their work.
It just makes us smarter. Even if you don't use that particular kind of math all the time, it just makes us smarter and helps us deal with anything else in life. And one of our huge things in here is we talk about being problem solvers, and that's what math is, solving problems.
Yeah, so you don't utilize every single thing that you learn in school, in life on a daily basis. But just like she said, just by learning it and utilizing it makes us smarter individuals. And it's collaborative, as you can see, and we utilize it. Without math, we would not be here today. So just wanted to give you that perspective as well. Next up is a video on the history of mathematics. Where did it come from? So I hope you all enjoy and again learn something new.
Human beings, from our earliest beginnings, have searched for solutions to basic problems: building homes, measuring space, keeping track of seasons, and counting objects. Over 30,000 years ago, early Paleolithic people kept track of the passing seasons and the changes of weather for planting. To represent the passing of time, they carved tally marks on cave walls or slashed tallies on bones, wood, or stone. Each tally stood for one. But this system was awkward when it came to large amounts, so symbols were eventually created that stood for groups of objects. Sumerian clay stones have been found that date to the 4th millennium BC. A small clay cone was used for 1, a clay ball was used for 10, and a large cone stood for 60. Written records from around 3300 BC show that Babylonians inscribed amounts on clay tablets with a reed. They used a nail shape for ones and a V on its side for tens, combining these symbols to write other numbers. For example, Babylonians wrote the number 19 as The ancient Egyptians used objects from their everyday life as symbols. A rod stood for 1, a cattle hobble was 10, a coiled rope was 100, a lotus flower was 1,000, and so on. The number 19 was a cattle hobble and 9 rods. The early Romans created a number system that we still see today. Along with other symbols, they used an X for 10 and an I for 1. By the Middle Ages, Romans were putting the I to the right of the X for 11 and to the left for 9. So they wrote 19 as XIX. All these creative number systems show groups of objects as well as individual objects. Some of the oldest human counting systems rely on fingers and toes. So they were based on 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. The Zulu word for 6 means to take the thumb of the right hand, meaning that all the fingers on the left hand had been added up and the other thumb was needed. Other systems evolved from commerce. The Yoruba in Nigeria used cowrie shells as currency and developed an amazingly complex number system. It was based on 20s and on the operations of multiplication, subtraction, and addition. For example, they thought of 45 as 3 times 20 minus 10 minus 5.
Oh my goodness.
Knots tied in cords and strings were used for recording amounts by many cultures, like the Persians. The Incans used a more refined version called a quipu, a thick cord held horizontally from which hung knotted string. The kind of knot the Incans used, along with the length and color of the cord, represented ones, tens, and hundreds. In today's world, almost every industrial culture uses the numerals 0 through 9. But these symbols weren't invented until the 3rd century BC in India, and it took another 800 years for the idea of 0 with place value to be constructed. This big idea dramatically changed the face of mathematics. We humans have always shared with one another. When early cultures shared their food and water or wanted to divide their land in ways that were fair and equal, fractions gradually emerged as symbols for these fair share situations. The ancient Egyptians used unit fractions. Fractions where the numerator is 1, like 1/2, 1/3, and 1/5, and would add and halve these fractions. If they wanted to divide 3 loaves of bread equally among 5 family members, they'd first divide the first and second loaves into thirds. Then they'd divide the third loaf into fifths. Finally, they'd take the remaining 1/3 from the second loaf and divide that into 5 pieces.
Oh my goodness.
They wrote this as 1/3, 1/5, 1/15. Today, we would represent this sharing with the fraction 3/5. 3/5 of a loaf for each person, or 3 loaves divided by 5 people. The Sumerians and early Babylonians invented a number system of fractions based on 60 that we still use 4,000 years later. Our days have 60-minute hours and 60-second minutes, and our circles encompass 360 degrees. Chinese societies used an abacus with a system based on tens, although it had no 0. An early form of decimal fractions came from the abacus. For example, 3/5 would be 6 out of 10 on an abacus. The Chinese lovingly named the numerator the sun and the denominator the mother. It wasn't until the 12th century that common fractions with the bar notation that we use today were invented. Even then, these fractions weren't widely used until the Renaissance period, only 500 years ago. Throughout history, every culture around the globe has created inventive ways to calculate. To solve a problem, say 12 times 15, early Russian peasants used a system of doubling and halving. When an odd number, halved, resulted in a fraction, they rounded.
Yeah, I use this actually in my daily. I never knew it came from Russian peasants. You see, 12 times 15 is the same thing as 6 times 30. And which one's easier to calculate? 6 times 30, right? So just by them having the first term and doubling the second term, it's still going to be the same answer. So yes, 6 times 30, or even 3 times 60 is easier than 12 times 15. So I think that's a really interesting way to do mental math.
Down. Then they added the factors associated with the odd multipliers. Ancient Egyptians relied on a doubling procedure until they produced enough groups. Then they added these groups to find the answer.
Wow, that's pretty cool. 4 times 15 plus 8 times 15 is 180. So it's kind of like times tables in a way. So I think that's really another interesting way to solve a problem.
Across Europe and Asia during the Middle Ages, the abacus was the handheld calculator of its day, but only very few people knew how to use it, usually wealthy merchants and moneylenders. By simply moving beads that each had place value, an abacus was a highly efficient way to compute. Then, the great Arab mathematician Al-Khwarizmi introduced the Hindu-Arabic numerals 0 through 9 into North America and Europe and created new procedures for computation. These algorithms could be written onto paper. Over the centuries, learning the algorithms became the hallmark of an education as students were taught to compute long columns of figures, borrow and carry, and do long division efficiently and reliably. They could now keep records of these procedures and check results. Today, complex calculations are done with a handheld calculator. This means students need the ability to check the reasonableness of the answer and to have a rich repertoire of mental math strategies to do that. Most simpler computations, like 12 times 15, can be solved mentally using a variety of strategies. As we journey through the rich and vibrant history of mathematics, we can see how ideas and creations grew out of our very human need to solve the problems in our everyday lives. Through time, the mathematical explorations of men and women from around the globe have given us fascinating lenses that help us to mathematically view and make sense of our worlds.
Wow. That was pretty amazing, right? Just seeing how math kind of had its own history and allowed us to do more and more things. And just like the previous video said, math helps us become better problem solvers. So, wow. Hope you all enjoyed. And I thought this video was also quite interesting. So I think we will go through this video, see if you have time for another one. If not, we'll move on straight to our fun facts. But where do these symbols come from? So like the plus, the multiply, the divide, the minus, where do they come from? So this video talks about that a little bit. The fact that all mathematics is symbolic logic is one of the greatest discoveries of our age. That's a great quote.
In the 16th century, the mathematician Robert Recorde wrote a book called The Whetstone of Wit to teach English students algebra. But he was getting tired of writing the words is equal to over and over. His solution? He replaced those words with two parallel horizontal line segments because the way he saw it, no two things can be more equal. Could he have used 4 line segments instead of 2? Of course. Could he have used vertical line segments? In fact, some people did. There's no reason why the equal sign had to look the way it does today. At some point, it just caught on, sort of like a meme. More and more mathematicians began to use it, and eventually, it became a standard symbol for equality. Math is full of symbols: lines, dots, arrows, English letters, Greek letters, superscripts, subscripts. It can look like an illegible jumble. It's normal to find this wealth of symbols a little intimidating, and to wonder where they all came from. Sometimes, as Recorde himself noted about his equal sign, there's an apt conformity between the symbol and what it represents. Another example of that is the plus sign for addition, which originated from a condensing of the Latin word et, meaning and. Sometimes, however, the choice of symbol is more arbitrary, such as when a mathematician named Christian Kramp introduced the exclamation mark for factorials, just because he needed a shorthand for expressions like this. In fact, all of these symbols were invented or adopted by mathematicians who wanted to avoid repeating themselves, or having to use a lot of words to write out mathematical ideas. Many of the symbols used in mathematics are letters, usually from the Latin alphabet or Greek. Characters are often found representing quantities that are unknown and the relationships between variables. They also stand in for specific numbers that show up frequently, but would be cumbersome or impossible to fully write out in decimal form. Sets of numbers and whole equations can be represented with letters too. Other symbols are used to represent operations. Some of these are especially valuable as shorthand because they condense repeated operations into a single expression. The repeated addition of the same number is abbreviated with a multiplication sign, so it doesn't take up more space than it has to. A number multiplied by itself is indicated with an exponent that tells you how many times to repeat the operation. And a long string of sequential terms added together is collapsed into a capital sigma. These symbols shorten lengthy calculations to smaller terms that are much easier to manipulate. Symbols can also provide succinct instructions about how to perform calculations. Consider the following set of operations on a number. Take some number that you're thinking of, multiply it by 2, subtract 1 from the result, multiply the result of that by itself, divide the result of that by 3, and then add 1 to get the final output. Without our symbols and conventions, we'd be faced with this block of text. With them, we have a compact, elegant expression. Sometimes, as with equals, These symbols communicate meaning through form. Many, however, are arbitrary. Understanding them is a matter of memorizing what they mean and applying them in different contexts until they stick, as with any language. If we were to encounter an alien civilization, they'd probably have a totally different set of symbols. But if they think anything like us, they'd probably have symbols. And their symbols may even correspond directly to ours. They'd have their own multiplication sign, symbol for pi, and, of course, equals. If you enjoyed this lesson, we think you'll enjoy learning.
Yep, those are where some of our symbols came from. So equals was just something that caught on, that spread throughout the world. So hopefully you all enjoyed that, and I certainly learned something new myself. So we're going to move on to our fun facts, because when I saw these, I thought they were very, very interesting. I love math, as you see on the screen, but always learning something new about it. So if I go here to this webpage, again, I just searched math fun facts, and and there's many, many websites and videos and things of that nature to search for. So did you know the word 100 comes from the Old Norse term hundrath, which actually means 120 and not 100? Did you know in a room of 23 people, there's a 50% chance that 2 people have the same birthday? Isn't that amazing? So in my classes in school and college, I guess, there was a half a chance that someone had the same birthday as me. 40 is the only number that is spelled with letters arranged in alphabetical order. Yep, F-O-R-T-Y. Conversely, 1 is the only number that is spelled with letters arranged in descending order, so backwards. From 0 to 1,000, the only number that has the letter A in it is 1,000. So every number before that does not have the letter A in it. The reasons Americans call math is because we argue mathematics functions as a singular noun, so math should be singular too. Let's see. 0 is not represented in Roman numerals. It sure isn't. Have you ever known the Roman numeral for 0? Didn't realize that. Negative 40 degrees Celsius is equal to negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If you look up the formula to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius, if you plug in negative 40 for either one, you'll get negative 40 for the other result. So I think that's pretty neat. The symbol for division is called an obolus. I didn't know that. I just thought it was the division symbol. So that's interesting. A jiffy is an actual unit of time. It means 1/100th of a second. So when they say, I'll be back in a jiffy, wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. If you shuffle a deck of cards properly, it's more likely that the exact order of the cards you get has never been seen before in the whole history of the universe. So when you properly shuffle a deck of cards, that order of which the cards come in probably has never been seen before, which is quite interesting to think about. So of course there were some additional ones here as well, but that's quite interesting. So if you like these fun facts, if you learned something new, please raise your hand in Zoom, and then maybe share your favorite fun fact that you learned in the chat. So again, from these facts that we covered, and even from the videos too, you could also put your thoughts in the chat as well in the videos. But of course, we'll have our overview and discussion later on. Okay, but yes, those are some fun facts. I love math. Grandpa told me to learn math so no one would cheat. Yeah, yeah, I know that's right. Thank you all so much. So moving on to our apps for today. So let's be prepared to learn some math. It will be Math Wiki, Learn Math's 1st through 12th grade math problems, and Duolingo. So Math Wiki, what is the linear function? How do you solve a quadratic equation? What is the Pythagorean theorem all about? Math Wiki provides numerous exercises and articles in the field of mathematics, which are helpful to better understand the foundations of mathematics from 7th grade upwards. So if you go to the App Store as usual and hit the search button here at the bottom, you type in the name or type of app that you want to download. So I'm going to write MathWiki, and look, the result actually comes up. And there are many, 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 many math learning apps. So please explore some more besides the 3 today. But I thought these were, just some interesting ones to start us off with. So MathWiki Learn Maths. And you're going to go ahead and get it, download it, and open it. So that way you can take advantage. So this is MathWiki Learn Maths. And it's pretty simple to navigate. So you have your learn section. So your basics like rules, geometry, equations, and functions. And then you have your advanced topics. So like functions, differential calculus, integral calculus, and analytic geometry. So throughout my schoolings, I've taken pretty much each of these courses in one way, shape, or form. My last class, or last math class, was on vector algebra, but before that, I took integral calculus and differential calculus and geometry, equations, function. It's a stepping stone because whatever you learn before, you're going to use in the next lesson, which I appreciated because every year basically I had a math course, and each and every year I just used what I learned before, which was which was great. I really liked that. So this is the learn section, the search. You can search for different concepts and such that you like. And there is a shop. So the app is free. If you want some additional content, like additional problems, things of that nature, you can either pay this monthly subscription or an unlimited subscription one time. So either a one-time fee of $9 or a monthly fee of $3. But the app has a lot to offer, so it's up to you on that. So let's go off with some basics, right? So just to showcase how the app is, so mathematical rules, and look, this is elementary arithmetic. So we're going to start with addition, right? And I like how they have everything set up. So addition, or the plus calculation, is you have the summand plus the other summand equals the sum. So those are called the operands. The sum is the result of the operand, right? So if the summands have the same sign, you set the common sign and add the contributions. If the summands have different signs, you set the sign of the larger summand and subtract the smaller amount from the larger one. So they're saying if, -5 plus -3, right? So they're saying put the two common signs, so the minus sign, together, and you'll get a result. We know that -5 plus a negative, when you're plussing a negative, you're really just minusing, right? So the second example is they're both pluses. So we know +3 plus +6 is +9. So they're just being technical, but that's how how maths started out. So here are some laws. There's a commutative law. So A plus B equals B plus A. That is the commutative law of mathematics. And this is the associative law. So A plus B plus C in parentheses is the same as A plus B in parentheses plus C, or otherwise known as A plus B plus C. Okay, so they give you some examples, and they give you some laws. So just looking through, this is subtraction. So just some interesting fun fact. Look, this is called the minuend minus the subtrahend. I never knew that, the actual names of these different operations, but I think it's pretty neat just to look through. You have the exercises. So some of the videos talk about fractions. So let's go into fractions. So expanding and reducing, right? So a fraction is extended by multiplying the numerator and denominator with the same number. A plus B, sorry about that. A divided by B is equal to A divided by B multiplied by the same number. If you multiply both numerator and denominator by the same number, of course, besides 0, because you can't divide by 0, you're going to get A divided by B, because again, those C's cancel out in a way, right? But here's an example. 2 plus 3 over 8 equals, if you multiply 5 over 5, again, you're basically multiplying by 1 in a way, right? So If you multiply by 5 on both, you get 40 at the bottom. And then if you do 2 plus 3, that's 5 times 5, 25. So again, just showcasing these different operations. This is an algebraic function, right? So again, just by multiplying both the numerator and denominator by the same thing, you can then expand it. And they're all equal to each other. Just looking through, and then let's go. Yep, here's some tasks, right? So some of the tasks are locked behind the premium content, but it's still great just to look through these ones. So here are some examples or some problems that you could solve. So add or subtract the fractions and shorten completely. So basically simplify them. So like B, 3 over 4 plus 2 over 7. So in that case, you would multiply by the first term, 7 over 7, and then the second term, you would multiply 4 over 4, because that way you would get 28 on the denominator on both fractions, and then you can just add the numerators together. So just looking through and having a paper next to you and writing things out is really, really helpful. So everything from, again, rules to geometry to equations to functions, to everything advanced. So something like this integral calculus, I very fondly remember doing this. So a definite integral is something that I learned. So it has this function. So you see, when there's more letters in a way, but they all have their own meaning. So this is called a definite integral. So again, it's just finding the area under a curve. And just by, again, reading through, you get to learn more about how and why things are shaped and formed the way that they are. So again, just with this app, you can learn some basics of math. And of course, there are always some other apps to always utilize to do it, but this is just one additional resource. So if you liked MathWiki, if you want to download it and check it out, I want you to raise your hand in Zoom. Okay. And if you like this app, if you want to download it, if you want to check it out, please raise your hand in Zoom, and we'd love to see that feedback on it as well. So again, Learn Math, just one additional resource to utilize learning math, but there are also many other resources as well. Thank you all so much for responding. Our next app is 1st through 12th grade math problems. I saw a lot of your hands, so I really appreciate that. If you're an adult, you can train your brain and solve math tests. Each task has an answer that explains the solution step by step. Be active and solve math problems to get interesting rewards, earn points, and unlock new levels and ranks. So if you go to the App Store, just like before, and hit the search, and I'm gonna hit it again, then I'm gonna hit it again, I'm gonna write in, again, the name or type of app that I would like to download. So 1st through, and then look, it comes up right here, so I can just tap on it, and it appears here, right here at the top right corner of the screen. 1st through 12th grade math problems. You're gonna get it, download it, and open it. And let's see what this app has to offer. So learn math in just 10 minutes a day if you wanna do that. So you can either say I have an account or continue. What is your native language? It's English. What do you expect from our application? I want to learn math. How old are you? We will match the app content to your age. So I'm just gonna, it's okay. Yeah, continue. And then you can sign up to create, use all the features of the application and save your progress. So you can create a username, an email, and a password. So, pretty simple things. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop sharing for a second, but just create your username, an email, and a password. So give me 1 second. Thank you, just signing up. And I'm just inputting my email information and creating a password. And there you go. So once you do it, you don't even have to confirm anything. You just have to make sure you input that password and information to then sign up for an account. And once you do, you will get to this screen where it's again, a pretty simple navigation. So here are your topics. Again, mental math, addition, subtraction, exponents, algebra. You can even choose your grade, which I think is pretty neat, that you want to start off with, right? So this would be very helpful for, anyone with kids, your grandkids. This seems to be very, very useful in utilizing these different grades. So let me go to high school. That's pretty cool. Exponential notation. Let me change it, maybe third grade. Let me see kind of the topics, their addition. Wow, that's pretty neat. Fifth grade. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you can go based off of grades, but we'll start off with these topics, right? So mental math. So start test. So we can even change the difficulty, right? So let's kind of do in the middle and see what it has. So use the hint if you don't know how to solve a problem. So there's that hint button here at the top right. And you can even take notes with your finger on the screen. Use the calculator to make calculations. And if you encounter a bug, you can hit the first icon there at the top right. Fill the progress bar to complete the test. So that's cool. I can even draw on here by utilizing that feature. That's pretty neat. So 5 plus 12, it's 17. 8 minus 7, that's 1. 3 plus 30, this time you have to type it in. That's 33, check. 76 minus 61, is that 27? No. 170 minus 20, that's 150. Yes, it's true. 100 plus 10 is 110. 46 minus 30 is 16. 9 minus 2 is 7. And there you go. Continue.
Soon may the Wellerman come.
And with some apps there are going to be ads, but this is literally was a few second ad. So there you go. That was one example of a test. If you're saying you can't find this app, you have to write first through. So I'm going to go back here really quick. You have to write first through. So 1ST. And then you have to go to the characters and put in a dash. Okay, once you do that, you'll be able to enter, you see the app name right here, and it comes up here at the top right-hand side. So I hope that helps out. Here's what I can do as well. I can hit the share button in this app and hit copy link, and let me put that in the chat so that way you can directly go to it. I hope that is helpful. So I just put that in the chat. You can just tap on it. It'll take you straight to the app. And I think I'll do that from going forward. I think that's really convenient just to be able to go there, but it's essential to use the App Store to search for different apps. But there's the link for it, so I hope that helps out. So let's do addition and subtraction. Let's go for a little harder. And you all can unmute and participate if you'd like, okay? And help me out with this test. So 66 plus 18, true or false? Is 84.
True.
Good.
True.
150 minus 60, is that 120? True or false?
False. False.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 70 plus 60, is that 130?
Yes. Yes. True.
Mm-hmm. 96 minus 68, what is that?
28. Is it 28? 24.
No, 28, good job. Yeah, just 28. And how I think about it, 96 is really close to 100, right? So if you add 4, it's like 100 minus 72. That's a lot easier to then calculate in a way, right? So good job, Geraldine.
Fellas.
69 plus 13, is that 88?
False.
And that is because even if you look, 9 plus 3 is 12. The number is going to end in a 2.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be 88. So you don't even have to actually do the calculation. You can just look at those last two the last number of each number and see if that adds up to the last digit. So this is false. 150 minus 80, what is that?
130.
70.
No,
70. Yeah, 70.
Yeah.
150 minus 80. So again, thinking about take away 50 from each. That's 100 minus 30, right? So that's 70. So that's another way to think about it. 80 plus 40, what is it?
120.
120.
Good. 50 minus 37, is that 13?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Because you can also think about it. 37 plus 13 is 50. So that's another way to think about it, right? So good job, you all. We got all of those right. And of course, there is a premium option of the app. Of course, there's probably a monthly or a one-time subscription, but I don't mind watching these ads as well. So just looking through, let's see. Let's do one more. Let's do some multiplying, okay? Oh wait, let's go back. Yes, I want to quit. Let's go a little harder. And let's start our test. Okay, is 70 divided by 7 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 320 divided by 4, is that 80?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, again, 80 times 4 is 320. So just always think of the opposite operation to help you with doing it mentally, right? Really helps out. Write the missing number in the following equations. 54 divided by what is 9? And what times 9 is 54?
18, 27, 36.
6.
6. Yeah.
6. Because, and they explicitly show you 2 ways of kind of the same problem, but not the same, but how it can assist you. 4 times 700, which out of the 4 is it?
2800.
2800. 28.
Again,
2800.
Yeah, 20. And the easy way to 7 times 4 is 28 plus the 2 zeros. So that way, those don't be afraid of big numbers. Just see, especially how easy any hundreds are. You just think of the initial numbers. Okay, so 2800. Good job. Next question. Yeah. Okay. Next question. 9 times 9.
81.
That was so fast. Okay, find the quotient with remainder. So, so this is, one of the cool things again with the app. I can use the note and draw. So this would be a long division, right? So it's 7, 23. So 7 goes into 2 0 times, right? So now 23. 7 goes into 23. Yeah, 3, 21, and that's 2. So yep, 3, remainder 2.
2 7. 3 and 2 7.
3, remainder 2. If that's how it's worded. I haven't thought about the way it's worded in a while, right? But yes, we got it, you all. But you could also think about it. 7 goes into 23 3 times. If you do 7 times 3, 21. 23 minus 21 is 2, remainder 2. 60 times 3 is what?
180.
180.
Yeah, good job. 180. 45 divided by 9.
5.
Because 9 times 5 is 45.
Thank you.
Well, we got it.
We got it.
Are you tired of your drawings never?
So again, wow, it's really great. Just mentally thinking about each problem and how they change within, the actual test. So it really does make you think. So thank you all so much for participating. Wow, a lot of you unmuted for this session, or this app. So I really appreciate that, you all. If you like this app, if you want to download it, please raise your hand in Zoom. Okay. Raise your hand in Zoom if you like this app or if you want to download it. Okay. I put the link in the chat as well because it may be difficult to find a dash, on your keyboard or set it up in that way. So you all can tap on that link in the chat for that app. So wow, 4 hands, appreciate that. Any more? But again, just this app, you can go based on grades, or just with the topics as well. So maybe I would start off with this, from the top myself and go from there, but it's pretty great to see what you can do. Wow. Distance between 2 points. Cylinder. That's a lot of great learning. So again, if you like this app, if you want to utilize this app, or if maybe you want to share it with others, just as the previous app, please raise your hand in Zoom. But yep, you have your topics, your grades, your leaderboard. So of course you'll get, probably get some points or whatever to look to receive just by playing. And this is your profile where you can look up all of your achievements and information, daily reward, and you can purchase premium if you want to, right? So it's let's see, yeah, premium, some other information as well, no ads, but hey, it's up to you. So thank you all. I see we have 6 hands up. I appreciate that. You all can lower your hands by hitting lower. Wow, 7 hands, great. Our last app for today is Duolingo. Okay, and I know this app we've covered quite a few times before, because it's mainly a language learning app, but with some recent updates, they actually added where you can build real-world math skills, from calculating tips to identifying patterns, and sharpen your mental math in their math course. Whether you're learning for travel, school, career, family, friends, or just your brain health, you'll love learning with Duolingo. So this app actually was one of the pre-downloaded apps that is on your iPads. So we should all have access to this app on our device, but you can also check to see, if there's any updates or anything up with it by searching it in the App Store. So it's Duolingo. And look, it says I need to update my app. So I'm gonna hit update and let it update for a second. But this app, again, is mainly for language lessons. They have pretty much any language you can imagine learn on there, but with some recent updates, you can now learn math and music on Duolingo, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and open the app. And once it comes up, we'll be able to look at some math as well and just showcase this app. So I originally, again, used this app to learn some languages I've always wanted to learn. But when you open your app up and your home screen, you'll see at the top left is your courses. So you can add a course. So the new courses are math and music, and I've actually been able to take advantage of both of them. I played music for 10 years throughout school. So, I'm still able to read music and understand, notes and signatures and things of that nature. But it's always good to review. So I really like their music course. So, you can utilize that if you want to as well. But the main we're going to do is math. So with Duolingo and math, there are a lot of options and sections, right? So this is just beginner math, but they also have an intermediate math section up here as well. And it's good practice. I've utilized some of it before. But yeah, they have beginner math and intermediate math. So again, just for yourself, for your others, for your grandkids, with folks with kids, etc. I think this is a great, fun, interactive, and fun app to utilize. So good, I see a chat. So if it won't let you update it, you have to delete the app, okay? Because again, this Duolingo was one of the apps that was pre-downloaded on your device. So first you have to delete it and then reopen it, okay? So I'm gonna go to my Duolingo app. So please locate it on your device, and you're gonna hold it and then hit remove app. And then you're gonna go ahead and re-download it, okay? Because again, before you guys receive your iPads, this app is loaded. Once you all sign into your Apple ID, is now thinking that this is a different individual that downloaded, but that's just because your Apple ID wasn't on it. So for this app, if you ever are not able to update it or upgrade it, you can hold it on your home screen and hit remove app, or you can go into settings and delete it from the storage as well, but this is the easiest way, right? So you hold the app, remove the app and delete it, and then re-download it on your device, okay? So I hope this helps out, Miss Melanie. So delete the app and re-download it, okay? So once you do, and you're into the math section, that's what we're covering, but any other section, you see it says start. So I'm going to start with this lesson, and it's pretty trivial, but it's still great mental math practice. So again, you all can unmute yourselves and practice along. So they have, you know, the visual and they have the number, right? So 4, 5, and then this would be 6, right? So this is just adding 1, 6, 7, and then look, the picture, right? So even, it may be elementary, but it's still, you know, it's still good mental math. You have to go by the number and by the pictures, right? So this would be the left one, right? Because we're doing 8, so 5 plus 3, right? And then check. So you keep going. What is 9? 6 plus 0, 7 plus 2, or 1 plus 0?
7 plus 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this one is a it's a slider. So 5 plus 2 is 7.
7.
So this would be not, this is the middles, this is like 5, this is like 6, this is like 7. So it's kind of forcing you to think about fractions without actually putting it in there, right? So I really like that. So look, there you go, we're good. 8 is what? What plus what?
Plus 3.
7 plus 1.
Yeah, 7 plus 1. You could have also done 6 plus 2.
2. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just, yeah, there are many, many answers. So match the pairs. 6 plus 0 is 6.
6.
6
6
plus 1 is
7. 8 and 2
8
is
plus
10.
2 is 10.
Mm-hmm. And answer all 3. 4 plus 0 is 4.
0. 4.
4 plus 1 is
5 and 6.
And 6.
6.
Yeah, and you keep going. Select all that match. So again, out of the 4 you see,
6.
which one's equal to
3
6?
6
So,
plus 0 and 3 plus 3.
mm-hmm. And you keep going. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So again, this is a slider. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 10.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a picture one. So how
9.
many there's, yeah, 5
Oh.
plus 4, right? So this is
Yeah,
9.
9. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And then look, another addition, but in a way. So
10.
what plus what is 10?
10.
So fill in the
plus
blank.
10
0.
plus 0.
Yes, good job. That was I thought that, you know, that would be a little tricky. 10 plus 0. Okay, 2 equals what?
1 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. 3 plus 0 is?
3.
Yeah, 3. So again, this is slider. So this is 5. So we have to move a little bit, kind of like here for like 3. What's 1 centimeter more than 5 centimeters?
6 centimeters.
Mm-hmm. So that's a word problem. Wow. What's 5 inches more than 6 inches?
11 inches.
Mm-hmm. And there you go. That was a perfect lesson. And yeah, so I've utilized Duolingo. I've utilized it every day for 585 days. So I really do enjoy this app. It's really essential for learning a lot of different topics as well. So that was a basic one. And we'll go into our intermediate section of it just to showcase. So look, this is angles in time. So let's see. Wow, we can't even get there. You see, we have to go through this level first. So let's finish this. Let's do division and then we'll end from there. So answer all 3. 6 divided by 3 is?
2.
9 divided by 9 is, or 9 divided by 3 is? And then 12 divided by 3 is?
4.
Mm-hmm. Good. 30 divided by 5?
6.
Good. Okay, answer all 3.
4.
5.
6.
4, 5, and 6. Good. Match the pairs. 10 divided by 10.
10.
I mean 100 divided by 10. Sorry.
10.
60 divided by 10 is?
6 and 5.
And you have the last pair, right? I can get 4 months of a dating service for $48 total. How much would that cost per month?
4 times.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Because $12 a month. Good job.
Mhm.
36 divided by 9 is
6. Oh, is that wrong?
so think of
Four.
it 9.
27.
How many
4.
times does
Yeah,
9
it's
go into
4.
36?
4. It's 4.
So you
Four.
again, just like with the other app before, you got it 36 divided by 9. That means 9 times what is 36? We know
Right,
9 times 2 is 18. So 18 times 2 is 36. So that's how I think about it too. Just start smaller if you would like, and that way you can then get to the answer. So
Okay.
that's why I love these apps, because it really makes you think. 12
Yeah.
divided by 6
Two.
is
2. 5.
yeah, 30 divided by 6 is 5.
5.
And
4.
there's the last pair. Yep. 20 divided by 2 is what? 10.
10.
10. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20.
Okay.
Count by 4. So
4,
what's
8,
this
12,
number?
16, 17, 20.
Yeah, it's 20. So yeah, you did it backwards, and that's good. That's a great way to think about it. Okay, same idea. 20 divided by 7 is what? 7 times what is 28?
4.
What's the number that's missing?
20. Wait, is it 24?
24.
Yeah, because look, they even give you a hint. It says count by 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 is 24.
24.
Match the pairs. 40 divided by 10 is
4.
9 there.
9 divided by 10 is
9.
9.
and 100 divided
10.
by 10 is
It's
10.
10.
Count by 20. What's missing?
60.
24.
60.
I know that's right. Okay, I baked for 5 hours and I earned $50. How much money did I earn?
$10.
$10. Yeah. 40 divided by 5 is what?
9.
Okay.
9 is 45.
Wow. Again, perfect lesson, you all. Good job. Good job.
Great
We were
math
pretty
teacher,
speedy.
Alex. Great math teacher.
Thank you all so much for participating. I heard y'all was so fast. I had to keep up with y'all, man. But thank you all so much. As you can see, there are many different things that you can learn. Please take advantage of the language. I love learning Spanish and Russian, but I love the math and even the music part as well. So thank you all so much for participating. I've seen a lot of unmutes. I really appreciate that. If you liked this app and if you want to utilize it, please raise your hand in Zoom. But again, that was a lot of fun. Thank you all so much. Again, if you like this app for the math part, but if you want to take advantage of the language part or the music part or share with others, please raise your hand in Zoom. I knew this would be a lot of fun, so I wanted to save it for last, but thank you. Wow, 8 hands, love it. Please utilize this app. I mean, it's free. I do utilize the subscription. I don't utilize the subscription for many things, but I really love this app, and it does help out with just keeping your brain going, and just for unlocking different parts with the different things that you do. I mean, learning a language, learning math, learning English, learning whatever, right, engages different parts of the brain. So please utilize this app, and thanks so much for having some fun and doing some mental math today. You all can lower your hands as well. But as usual, we're for the next few minutes or so, we're going to have our overview and discussion. So thank you all so much for coming on. Make sure you come on for our 12 o'clock trip to Venezuela and our module at 1:30. So again, I have some questions for you all, but as well to answer. But if you just want to share your thoughts on today's session as well, we would appreciate that. What is one new fact that you learned today from the videos, from the facts, etc.? What app or apps are you interested in trying out? What is your favorite math concept? Maybe your favorite symbol or favorite equation? Or how do you use math in your daily life? And how will these apps help out with that? Again, I really appreciate you all coming on to our session, and we'd love to hear from a few of you on your thoughts and answers to these questions. So again, please raise your hand if you would like to respond, and I would appreciate that. So far we have 2 hands, 3, thank you. Wow, really appreciate that. Hi, Gracie. Thanks for participating.
Hey. How do you use math in your daily life? Just about any way you look at it. I'm trying to
Anywhere.
balance the checkbooks, paying bills, uh, just, cooking. Sometimes I have to use math
Yes,
and my
you have
measurements
to.
and so forth.
You have to, especially
Hmm.
with baking. Baking is
Yes,
you have
most
to if that's the most important for measurement. So you have to know
definitely.
how to add fractions and cups
Right.
and switch between different conversions because a tablespoon
Hmm.
versus another unit can be different. So you know,
Right.
I
Hmm.
love that you mentioned that cooking part. You read my
Yeah.
mind.
And apps I'm interested in. I started with algebra, but I never finished. So I'm gonna go and see if I can self-teach myself to do algebra, correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
I appreciate you saying that. I understand that not everyone was able. I was very fortunate to just have that kind of education and still have it, but not everybody did, unfortunately. So just what with these apps, I hope they're just an addition, or they just unlock something, and you learn something. Learning something new is always fun. So no matter what level you're at, I love doing those additions because they
Right.
just continue. Every everything is just a bunch of ones and all together, but it's just a
Hmm.
really great way to think about it. So thank you, Gracie. Is that it?
That's it. Thank you. Hmm.
No problem, Gracie. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Next up is Greer. How are you?
I'm good, Alex. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Enjoyed all of the sessions and information this morning. What I plan to do is I have two elementary schoolers, early elementary schoolers, and I plan to share with them. And one comes to me in the afternoons after school about an hour or so. So I plan to work with her on that, and I think she'll get a joy out of that. And
Mhm.
I enjoy the daily use. I did almost with everything that Gracie said. And also I play a lot of pinochle. I play it on my app a lot. And
Uh-huh.
I do and I do it in my head. I have to do the math in my head real quick. And so I really enjoy that. And I had a problem. I deleted the Duolingo, but I had a problem getting it on the App Store. So what did I not do when I was trying
You
to?
just search for Duolingo, Greer, and you should be able to see it come up
I didn't.
so
I didn't
when you're
get
in
to
the
the
app
search
store.
bar. I didn't see search when I went.
Yeah,
When I went.
you have to look at the bottom right, Greer. You have to hit the search bar and it comes up. As long as the keyboard is up, you're able to type in your inquiries. So when I type in Duolingo, it should
Oh,
appear at
okay.
on the top right corner. Okay, that's how you again download apps. When you're in the app store, you have to hit the search button at the bottom, and then you'll be able to type in again the name of that app. So again, you may need to delete it if you haven't done that
I did
before,
delete it.
because yeah,
I
so
did
then all
delete it.
you would hit get. So next to Duolingo, it will say get. So that way you can then enter your information and then download the app again. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alex, and have a great. Well, I'll see you later today.
Yes. Make sure you check out our trip to Venezuela in our module. Okay.
Oh, thank you. All right, then.
No problem.
All
Have a
right.
great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Next up is Miss Melanie. How are you again? Which
fine,
ones would you like to
Alex.
answer? Thanks for
Well, first of
participating.
all, the one new fact I learned was that if there's an app already on my iPad that I can, and it doesn't accept me updating, I can take it off and reapply it and then
Yes,
update the
ma'am.
new part.
Yes, because now the new app is under your Apple ID, so you shouldn't have any more issues with updating it.
Yes. Okay. I know it's quite a few. I'm gonna have to do that too. But I needed this lesson today because I'm going back to school and I will be taking up some kind of mathematics. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I needed this, and I'm gonna use every app I can.
Good
I'm gonna
luck
need
in
all the
all of
help
your
I can get.
endeavors. Yes, good luck with everything, Miss Melanie. And I hope
Thank
this
you.
just, helps with whatever course you take, whatever you learn, I think will be useful in that. So again,
Yeah.
good luck with everything.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
We have Miss Brenda, and then our last person for today will be Anne. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for participating.
Okay, thank you. I like that app. Are you interested in trying out? I want to try out geometry. I didn't do good in geometry. I did pass it, but I didn't do good. And I would like to learn starting from the beginning, because you have to start from the beginning to get it. I learned how to add and subtract up to 1,000 in my head. In West Virginia, we didn't have nothing to do, so I always challenged myself. And I love math. Grandpa taught me to learn how to count, for no one would cheat you in the stores. And I took that very seriously. And trust me, nobody's going to cheat me.
Certainly.
Yeah, because
Certainly.
I love math. That's one language that I just loved. But I had problems in geometry. And I think I'll go and try that out.
Yes,
thank you.
this app you see on the screen, and this one as well, they have a lot of geometry stuff as well. So I hope you get to take advantage of it. Okay, Miss Brenda?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay.
You
too.
last but certainly not least for today is Miss Anne. How are you?
Hello.
Hey Anne, Hey Anne, how are you?
I don't know what is wrong with my thing. Is acting up this morning. It keeps blocking
you're good,
me.
Anne.
Okay.
You're good.
I just want. I'm not going to repeat because I know that I use mine in baking and balance in the checkbook and everyday life and counting pages, stuff that I'm writing and stuff. So, but I like that Dingo or what app because it's teaching me. I'm learning Spanish. I had learned some Spanish, and I'm reviewing the French because my family is French, but because my aunt is dead, I have no one to speak French with anymore. So I'm trying to teach my granddaughter, my great granddaughter, some French words. So I'm trying to use that. So, and I thank you for all you do, and have a great day and a good weekend, and take care of yourself.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Anne. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I will.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you for the message you sent me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. You have, again, thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Yeah. Greer, did you have a thought or a comment?
Yeah, Alex, I did try to get to Duolingo. It didn't have, I saw where it had math. I saw where it had language. So the one with language, was that all?
Yes, it's all together. So again, it says Duolingo language lessons. There's only one app that's called Duolingo. So it has to be that app. So once you're in there, then you're able to get to the courses and, do the math or the languages or the music or whatever else that they have to offer. Okay.
But
it's that app.
It asked about my password. So
yes, that's your Apple ID password. You have to verify that it's you to download the app. So you have to input your Apple ID password, and then you'll be able to then download the app. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Just like all the other apps that we covered today, when you try to download them, you're going to have to input that info, and then you'll be able to download the app. Okay.
Okay. All right then. Thank you again.
No problem. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Alex. You too.
And thank you all so much for coming on to our session today, all about math. Really enjoy doing some mental math, some practice math problems with you all. And it certainly helps out with everyday life situations, but, just problem solving and just being smarter. Hey, it feels really great just to learn a lot of information And you could definitely impress someone with your knowledge, and it definitely helps out in a lot of areas of your life. I will see you all at 12 o'clock for our trip to Venezuela. But other than that, thank you all so much for coming on, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You
Thanks,
too, Alex.
Alex.
Very interesting
Bye.
lesson. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Have a great
Be
one.
safe. Everybody
Have
be
a great
safe and God
day.
bless everyone.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you all at 12 o'clock. Have a
Okay,
good
you
day.
too.
Okay, see you then.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's beautiful.